Hey guys, Jonathan here from the i5 Political Podcast that I host alongside my co-host Jim. Just a quick one. It never ceases to amaze the level of ignorance you can find in politicians as demonstrated by Lord Richard Dannatt, a retired military officer and currently a member of the House of Lords. In an interview with Kay Burley at Sky News, during which he has said, "All Finland has to offer is moral support and 813 miles of border." This is obviously an interview being made because of the historic day that, Finland's joined NATO. What a thing to say on that day. You'd think a former general would know how to do a little research before going on a major news network. Just to get straight to it, Finland has a lot more to offer than moral support. Finland has the biggest field artillery firepower in Western Europe. They have 700 howitzers, 700 heavy mortars, and 100 MLRs. This kind of firepower is significantly more than moral support. Given that artillery is an essential part of the fighting in Ukraine right now, that just makes that all the more valuable. Invading Finland, because of this, would be an incredibly costly affair in both manpower and vehicles, and it also acts as a huge deterrence for even Putin to invade. They also have more tanks than most of Europe put together, weighing in with roughly 200 tanks according to sources, divided into 100 Leopard A4s and 100 Leopard A6s, along with supporting fighting vehicles and specific equipment to back them up. They also have a standing wartime army of over 280,000 men, along with a reserve army of 900,000. 85% of all Finnish men age of 18 and above are trained in defensive and offensive warfare. Some troops more offense, with the rest more so in defense. While I doubt this is what Dannatt meant, Finland actually does turn morale into a valuable asset, as with that huge amount of troops, their population has had the highest willingness to actually defend Europe since the 80s and 2020. Roughly between 83 to 87% are willing to actually pick up a rifle. If that wasn't enough, Finnish businesses have readiness training systems in place where they can be harnessed to be used during war times. If this wasn't enough to make them very prepared defensively, they have huge underground bunker networks. Some of them could be mini cities in themselves to keep their population safe in order to withstand an attack. It's absolutely insane to say all Finland can offer is moral support. In fact, it's beyond insane. It's just ignorant and flat out moronic. Really, Ukraine should have been built up like this after 2014. Zelensky's corruption may have meant he wasn't interested in investing enough money into this type of defensive model, but NATO could have pressured him and supplied him in an effective way, e.g. give Ukraine more artillery, more mines, set up a bunker system, and maybe that would have created enough of a deterrent to maintain its border integrity, or at least make the body count so high for every inch of ground that even Putin wouldn't want to invade. Though I do concede that this is a maybe, as Putin is showing he doesn't care about casualties or economic sanctions. Who's to definitively say what his limit is, or the limit his determination to wipe out Ukraine's existence is. But this, at the very least, would have put Ukraine in a much stronger position than it is in now. While this may not have been feasible, both due to Zelensky's corruption and NATO not wanting to risk escalating a war in Europe, I want to highlight how profoundly uninformed you have to be to say Finland has just moral support to offer. It should be a reference guide on how to defend your border against a hostile neighbouring country. These comments made by Dannatt really shows how out of touch political generals in the House of Lords are, and explains how the Ajax project turned out the way it did. I'm Jonathan from i5, again from the Political Podcast that I host alongside my co-host Jim. Thank you for listening. Please hit the trinity of the like, share, and subscribe buttons. And if you agree or disagree with anything, feel free to leave a comment Feel free to leave a comment. Jim does love to argue. Bye, guys.